Hi there, my name's Jim. This is my shed and you're welcome to it. Hi there, how you doing? Hope you're well. Obviously been a while since my last car video. The last one, last episode was me and George obviously working on his bike, which we both enjoyed very much. Although, to be honest, I think the edit did flatter my patience somewhat, as they all looked very harmonious. Yeah, on the video, but there were a few times where we got in each other's way, let's put it that way. But no, we both enjoyed it very much, and hopefully we'll do a bit more of that kind of thing in the future. Do need to do a bike for my daughter actually, so it might be Nyla's bike coming up at some point in the not too distant future. Who knows? What are we looking at today? Engine stuff. Finally getting on with the inlet manifold. So we've got the runners made, and on the flange, and it's all roughly matched to the head. My experience with head porting and things like that, I've had mixed results in the past. There's a certain 2CV engine of which we shall never speak again. Yes, few people might know what I'm talking about. That was a bit of a disaster. But anyway, who knew that 2CV engines had oil-cooled exhaust guides? Well, found out the hard way. But anyway, that was many years ago. But yeah, so I've roughly matched bits. I've done a bit of fettling, very roughly matched, but that kind of stuff is definitely best left to the professionals. So now that the runners are done, bolted onto the head, and as I say, roughly matched, it can go away and professionals can finish it all off nicely. So that will get done. The runners themselves, I think I've probably gone a bit on the large side, but then fabricating stuff like that, I've always tended towards the larger rather than the smaller. And I may have gone a bit big for a 1500, but it's going to work. It'll be all right under boost anyway. Maybe a bit lethargic off, but we shall see. Yeah, you'll see that towards the end of the video, and I'll probably talk a bit more about it when it's all done at the end. So I guess I'll just stop rabbiting on and let's crack on. Right, material to make the flange from. Now, generally speaking, when you get pre-cut flanges or you make a flange, you just do an outline of the gasket, or I've cut the flange off the head. So I would normally just draw on that, mark out where the holes are, drill through, maybe chain drill over to make the oval holes. But anyway, it would be a flat plate with the holes drilled into the head. The trouble with that is these ports are actually at an angle, and they match the angle in the head. So if you have a flat plate, what you end up with is your runners come down this way, they then have to go that way through the plate, and then they start going down, so you get a little dogleg in the flow. You can do a reasonable job of porting that out when you port the heads, but it's not ideal, obviously. So I'm going to make the flange with this angle actually cut into I'm going to drill the ports at an angle, to the right angle for the ports in the head, and to that end, I've made myself this delightful little angle plate. So basically, when I've got all my holes marked on here, this is at the, I mean, you can see my woodworking skills to the fore, but this is at the right angle, so that when you pop that on there, these are vertical. So I'll mark out where I need my holes on here, and then I just pop that on there on the drill, center drill each one, and then I'll be able to drill and hole drill, use a hole saw to cut the ports all out at the right angle. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes, eh?
And so here we have a flange, not bad, needs a bit of fettling obviously, but that's that done. Now onto the runners. So here we are. Been a long time coming, but here's the runners, sort of roughly matched to the head, all bolted on, and ready to go for the professionals to finish it off properly.
So there we go. I think it's come out okay. Quite happy with it, really. At this point, a couple of things I need to point out that I didn't really cover in the video because it was I just basically made. I didn't want to break into it and talk too much. What I was doing, just showing you what was going on. But it was filmed over the course of about a month, so very slow process. I did add the extra stud holes in the head, so transferred the positions of what was there on the original flange but wasn't used in production, obviously been deleted, transferred them to this flange and then drilled through into the head and drilled and tapped. So those extra fixings are all done. The runners themselves, I think I do need to point out that the way I've done these, like bell mouths, they're very small bell mouths, but the radius entry into the ports, that won't be the floor of the plenum. The floor of the plenum will be about an inch down from that, just so you don't get boundary layer build-ups. I could bore you with the technicalities of why, but just suffice to say, these will be protruding into the plenum, and the plenum will be built around it later on. And I obviously haven't got any injector bosses yet. Injectors I will be fitting to the bottom of the runners. Just something I've always done. Seems to work quite well. Not going to go. Ideally, I would like to go staged injectors, so have one mounted up here for high fuel, for high power, on boost fueling. Maybe in the future we'll do something crazy and fit a separate fuel system, so the injector, once I get an ECU that can actually run staged injectors, I'll fit some small ones in the original position, so I'll mount them quite close to the ports for the original ones, and then maybe at a later date I'll do a toluene injection, so just inject pure toluene for the extra injectors, but stuff like this. Who knows? Maybe see how we get on with the first setup first, and then before we start thinking about modifying it. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I think that's okay, and it does mean that the head can go away with the valves and be finished off properly. There has been an unexpected injection of funds, so I am going to buy the cams I wanted to get. I'm going to go with cat cams, fast road cams, which a little bit leery for a turbo, but I will tweak the timing slightly so that that'll work better with the turbo. But they bolt straight in, standard valve springs and all that, don't do anything fancy. And obviously, because I've got the short stroke crank in it, pistons are going to be down the bore, so I won't need to cut any valve cutouts or anything like that. So they'll bolt straight in, lovely. Yeah, I think that's where we are really. I did manage to sort out some blasting facilities actually at work. Vaguely amusing story. Sort of after some hunting around, found a big blasting cabinet that I'd be allowed to use, and then thought, oh great, I'll just go and take my bits down there because I'd degreased the sump and a few other bits, and just wanted to, blast the worst of the corrosion off the outside. Got to the tank, no sand in it. Oh, the sand's on order. It's been on order for ages. Not there yet. So that's still sat in a drawer under my desk at work. It's like all degreased, but not blasted, so I can't get on with doing the sump or anything yet. But hopefully that will be rectified soon, and I'll be able to get on this stuff. And when I go and drop this off for modifying over at CTM, another plug for them, I will be starting the crank. We'll see what I get done. Hopefully, if I can get a day over there, I do need to talk to Charlie first and clear it with him, but I'm assuming it'll be okay. Hopefully I'll be able to take the block, get that degreased, get it degreased, hone it. So I would like to give it a rigid hone. I have just got a glaze buster type honing tool, but the engine has done a few miles. There's no real wear on it, but I just like to give it, like, take half a thou out, and an extra half thou clearance isn't going to hurt anything. And it will just make sure it's a nice straight bore, really make sure everything's nice, and also it will actually reveal if there's any any real whoopsies with the block. The bore's really out of shape. If half thou doesn't clean it, then it will need it needs attention. So yeah, as I say, go CTM, get the block cleaned, honed, hopefully get the crank machined. This is quite ambitious for one day, but you never know, can do it. And then drop this off, obviously, and then I'll have to leave it there. And I guess another day I'll go there when I go and pick the stuff up. Hopefully I get the flywheel done, get everything balanced. Sounds like a plan. Whether it'll come to fruition, I don't know. But yeah, engine stuff moving along nicely. So I guess all that needs to be said is cheers, good health, and I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks.